have our, yeah, it's being live streamed. Yeah, I'll also record it. Okay. Yes. So very good afternoon and a warm welcome to one and all for Tamil Nadu Adivasi Mahila Sabha Madras units. An intriguing and interesting session on magic of temples. On behalf of our management team, advisory and committee, I'm very, very happy and honored to welcome you all. First, let's start today's program with an auspicious beginning with our Amavaru song by our immediate vice chairperson who's going to become the chairperson, who's going to take over the mantle. It's over to you, Manimala, for the invocation.
Jaya Jaya Arya Vaishya Kula Sagara Purna Shashanka Chandrika Jaya Jaya Banu Koti Manijala Samagra Kirita Bhashita Jaya Jaya Banu Koti Manijala Samagra Kirita Bhashita Jaya Jaya Nama Samsmarana Sadhu Janavana Nityavardhini Jaya Jaya Mandahasa Ruchi Shanta Sukha Kruti Kanyakambika 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 Jaya Jaya Arya Vaishya Kula Sagara Purna Shashanka Chandrika. Jai Vasi.
Simply superb, Manimala. I'll just mute you because it's somehow it's echoing. Yeah. Thank you so much. You sang it brilliantly. Very, very nice. Wonderful. Yes, we have blessings of Amavaru for this magic of temple. So we are okay. I think you can mute everyone, D2D host. Yes. I'm honored and happy to welcome a wonderful speaker, Shri Srinivasan, to take us over to the magic of temples. I wholeheartedly welcome the marvelous and majestic Mahilas, ladies and gentlemen. So many people have come on behalf of Mr. Srinivasan sir as well. So we welcome everybody and Sailesh Joshila to this enchanting program. We would like to brief about Mahila Sabha. Tamil Nadu Adivasi Mahila Sabha Madras unit has been conducting many programs, events, seminars, scholarships, helping in developing the community and the country in turn since 1983. We have a wonderful community with a great combination of old and young who contribute to all projects intellectually, physically, and financially. Thanks to all of them, our Sabha has a great recognition as a wonderful NGO. These 2 years also, we could bring out a variety of programs. Each and every one of them is a unique one, and you guys made it a grand success. Thank you all. In today's program, we are celebrating the glory and magic of temples. I once again welcome one and all for this amazing program. And now it's my turn to introduce my dear friend, Mr. Srinivasan, who's going to be the speaker for today. He is a trainer in business strategy and organization development and has 24 plus years in consulting. He's a versatile and multifaceted personality with rich knowledge and experience in fund management, business plan, strategy addition, and also in providing recruitment, monitoring, and staffing solutions. He's a certified business coach and consults for SMEs in the areas of strategy, finance process, especially for businesses. He's also a team mentor. So his list goes on and on and on. I would like to talk about his vision now. His vision is to succeed and to be better than the best. His mission is to ensure the complete customer satisfaction by using people, process, and technology. He provides solutions to staffing, training, and process management via People Point and Trek1 Academy for Career Excellence. He studied Indology, financial psychometrics, and evolution of life and purpose on his own initiative. He is the brains and body behind the ongoing V501A's Kovilukku Pogalam Vanga. He had conducted another wonderful program during our Global We Connect series, Opportunity of the Week, where he taught us how to increase our wealth manifold, time management, technology, etc. He is passionate about 5 T's: temple architecture, trivia, theology, travel, and of course, tea, the good old tea. Today, he is here to enlighten us on the magic of moment. So let's be on board on the magic carpet. The floor is yours, sir.
Thanks so much, Sujata Madam, Miss for S, so much for a lovely, sweet introduction. And incidentally, I had my tea as well. So thanks so much for a lovely opportunity this evening to get connected. We'll straight jump into our session. In fact, I feel more than anything, feel very privileged to share a little bit, and in fact at the end of the session know more from all of you people. So possibly I'm going to run through what I've seen. So before we go ahead, I also would want to tell, like, I have been that curious onlooker on all the temples. It is not that I'm not a scholar. I have not specialized in temple architecture, but always, like, possibly how Sujata Madam coined it, it's so intriguing to see a temple, because I feel it is a history captured in stone. So instead of reading through history book, and mind you, you should also know that I was the last student in school in social sciences. History, I never used to understand. Why should I know father of Humayun while I do not know who my great grandfather is? So that little quest took me to go around the temples and pick up certain things, and that is how I am here with you. And in fact, my prayers to all my gurus, like, who brought me here, Babaji, Yogiyar, and definitely Mana Ammavaru. And all this, I also have another important reason to talk about Ammavaru, because around, I think, 14-16 years back, I got an opportunity to be with the construction, the core committee of Kanika Parameshwari temple in Coimbatore, and that started honestly the journey of to understand temples. Because when we had an Agama and a Shilpa expert coming and defining how the temple has to be, then I understood, oh my God, this is a total different science which we never ever got to learn. And even we go to see temple more about 1 or 2 elements, but I understood it is a layer of lot of elements into the temple. And so that is how it happened. And in fact, I thought, why do we generally go to a temple before going in? Well, we were talking about that layers, right? Any thoughts? You can unmute and speak, so that at least I know we are not sleeping off at 4 o'clock.
Yeah. We go to temple to feel good about ourselves and to get the blessings of God.
Okay.
The ambience.
So, the ambience, blessings of God, feel good.
Yeah.
Okay, I think by and large, this is what I'm considering. This is a representative sample of the whole crowd here. So it starts with faith and belief, right? There are people who do not want to go to temple. There are people who don't believe in God, still come to temple for the architecture beauty. So most of it get confined to faith and belief. You go because you feel like you'll get blessings. You go because it is beautiful. You feel like it is relaxing. But beyond that, I feel like it is a place where it holds the whole culture. Because this is where people somewhere long back put it in a nutshell, and that is how we got a temple. And that is where I feel first is the culture. The second is the history and the legends. Lot of things. See, if someone tells, did Rama really live? So I have taken actually epic, and I thought I will connect today all temples which I visited related to epic, just few of them. And at the end of the session, what I want to do is, I have nothing in terms of question and answer, but please stay back and contribute if you have also visited some temple related to epic Ramayana. So I'm just giving you time to think over, but this is what I have done. So there is one thing called history, and there is always, there is the Indian or Hindu mythology. which I am dead against. I never use a word called mythology just because we didn't record the time. So it is legend. Third and very important piece is we have spent so much of time, effort, energy on art and architecture as well. It was also a place of a social structure and gathering. If you look at the old temples, you will see so much of mandabas, places of get together, socializing. That was there. Interestingly, if you see all that Kumbha, like nothing was non-functional, nothing was just for a sake. Unlike other cultures, I'm not just trying to compare any religion for that matter, but here we were always looking into a functional element. So I'm sure a lot of us know that whatever the Kumbha, what we have, and this Rajagopuram, the big ones, which we have, the big temple towers, used to have that kalasam, and the kalasam used to have the grains. And even today, they say you do Kumbhabhishekam once every 12 years because these grains have a shelf life of 12 years. Just look into that kind of an intricate science and knowledge which has gone into the building of temples, and why you do, of course, 12 years once you do Kumbhabhishekam, there are a lot of things. That is what I'm trying to feel and share, telling like there are multiple layers, and all these layers have been just combined into such a beautiful structure, which we very simply call it off as temples. Then it was also a depository of wealth. If you look into the whole Padmanabha temple thing, we understand people used to use it as a bank locker. So again, we have a lot of, this is one very little known fact. Previously, long back, it is as, or possibly as early as 600 years, we had all the medicine, health, and wellness being practiced in temples. Even if you go today to the Srirangam, if you go just behind the main shrine and you have one Dhanvantari shrine, left to it, you will see a big, huge empty space that was supposed to be the the most acclaimed Ayurvedic hospital until it was plundered. And okay, that's a big history, but I will not be going into temple wise, but I want to tell like our temples also held such a beauty of medicine, health, and wellness. In fact, the whole idea of going around the tree for 100 times also was good for your health. You were breathing in oxygen, and this was an oxygen producer, and we know the value of this oxygen past 2 years. And for people who could go these levels, it was also leading to the purpose of life. People understood you don't come here to just come, grow, earn, procreate, and leave one day. I think there was something beyond that, and these temples also did. And that is why I tell there is nothing so significant as something as a temple which encompassed every facet of your life into one single structure, and we have these beautiful temples. So I also feel like it is a center of truth, epicenter of concentrated wellness and energy, and that is why you will see as we go, the same temple, you have the biggest of people. Who's the big? Then we'll come about this again epic. So Ramayana, Rama is the great, and you have Rama visiting the same place multiple times. So this is also a kind of an epitome or epicenter of this wellness energy, and that is how we understand a lot of places where intuitively identified to build the temple. So it is just not the superstructure, it is not the space, it is not only the shrine, it is not only the hymns which are told, it is not only the statue, beyond that. So these are kind of a nodal points across geography. If you go to Badri, then you will see there is a place called Adi Badri. There is also a place called Bhavishya Badri. So including understanding, predicting the geographical magnetic lines, they are told after so much days, this will move forward. So possibly you need not come here to pray to God Badri, else you could have it a permanent structure, right? You don't in other religions move the shrine, but here we were not giving importance to just the shrine, temple, and the god. We were giving to something much more significant, and everything was around the wellness of a person who comes there and how he can evolve. So temples essentially, I feel, are kind of a cosmic energy foundation fountains. They were receiving and possibly sharing the energy across to all of us in various medium, and the whole idea was beyond religion, beyond your faith in God. It is about well-being and you evolving. So today we are going to touch few places. I thought I'll take Ramayana, and I have done some sessions on each of these temples. I can just give you links. Each session is 1 hour. We take it in this fashion. We start with the legend. We get into history. We get into the shrines. We get into the significance. We don't get into all this pariharam, all those things. I just was there, fell in love, and spoke about the temple. So that there is a series. But here I'm trying to connect these temples, Srirangam, Tiruvallarai, Tirupulani, Alvar Tirunelveli. Though Sujata madam told, like, why don't we go beyond India? I said, madam, India itself is so phenomenally beautiful. We'll definitely do something beyond India also, the temples. But this is something I thought I will take today, because this is a place where God Rama also walked. Because I have always confronted this question: did Rama really live? Is Ramayana a story, or did it really happen? I do not want to feel bad about this question. I'm happy someone asked, and one person who was very strongly asking was me. So that is why I could go and find it. So this is one religion where you can doubt everything, including the God. And here the experience alone matters. So what I have experienced, I can tell, but what the idea of this whole session is, please go and experience in case you feel it significant to you. So these are the temples which we thought we'll do a fast coverage. So my journey with temples started like this. In Coimbatore, Kanika Parameshwaram temple. A lovely opportunity to be part of Kalasam. I'm sorry, shape of a Kalasam, and it is made up of ruby red granite, absolutely no joineries, and very, very importantly, we had not used any material other than the stone. So eventually there's a little binding material, and how it happened, we had a one full session only on how this temple got built. This shrine got built, only one of its kind, in the shape of a kumbham, and everything, the geometry of it is so intriguing. This is the ceiling what we have. This is the the blueprint of 2 temples, and this was a photograph which was taken on the Kumbhabhishekam, a lovely kalasam shaped Garbhagraham, which I'm sure you wouldn't have seen. And there are a couple which is going to come up in Pengonda, but they are coming up. They came later. So this is one of its kind, and it is made of a ruby red granite. And please be aware, this was used as a concentric circle of granite and not cladded on a cement structure. So if this granite is what you're seeing, the every granule of it is this granite, which is technically called ilical red. So that is what it was made, and how this got made, how it got structured, how it stands, all that is another story on its own. So this is one time when there is no rush. I thought you should definitely have a look at it for people who are not from Coimbatore, or people in Coimbatore who have not visited one of the amazing shrines in how. So it also reinforces telling not only that days, even today, the divine gives an opportunity to construct as beautiful or as unique as these. So this is in Coimbatore, Kanika Parameshwaram. So getting back, so this is where I owe everything to her, because she brought me to this antagonist, I would tell. I would not atheist, but I got to understand, okay, there is something beyond science. I was such a strong believer of science. So what I'm talking today is about my visits to various temples over a period of time, and I'm not a person who visits exclusively for this purpose. I go on work, I spend time in temple. So this is the whole idea of what I'm going to talk. I'm going to base it on Ramayana, where Rama traveled, and I also want to tell about something called as epic. So this is what the typical definition is: one derived from ancient tradition, narrating the deeds and adventure of heroic or legendary figures in past and in
Hello.
the history of our nation. So that is the no, I'm getting a call. The challenge is I connected to the data plan of mobile, because I thought that was a
Okay.
and this is someone suddenly feels I should attend a call rather than not. So this is what about. So all said and done, whether I do not know whether he was Vishnu himself, but there is more and large proof to tell. We'll see why he is a godly figure and what all he did. And I'm starting with this place called Thiruvallarai. I do not know how many of you have been, because this is not in a very prominent center of any city. But one important thing about this place called Thiruvallarai is that it is one out of this 108 Divya Desam. You can just go to 106, all of us are aware. And one interesting information is this is the first among all Perumal temples built. So it is also called Adi Thiruvallarai. Adi means, in Sanskrit it's called the older. This is the big, lovely entrance, and everything is so beautifully measured. Here, number of steps, there is a story. This Rajagopuram has one story. This stone structure has a story. But I just want you to know, like, okay, this is how it is from a little distance. I put it as an insert. So this is a panoramic view taken from a drone. Beautiful structure built on a, this is an artificial hill, but this totally is a hill. And this is the unfinished Rajagopuram. Now, one family in Coimbatore is taking it on a personal account, spent 4.5 years just to renovate this. More details, I have a separate video on this, but we'll keep going. So this is where we get in touch with Rama. So possibly this caricature shows that this is a Sibi Chakravarti. You know how compassionate he was. He, to save a dog, he was ready to give a piece of flesh from his body to an eagle. So he heard about demons in Sri Lanka. And for a few of us who do not know about Shibi's lineage, Shibi happens to be the 8th grandfather of Rama, or 7th for Dasharatha. So father. So there is a lot of course, views on it. Some people tell no, he's 40 generations old, but at least we are sure he's minimum of 7 generations previous to Rama. And interestingly, he came over to Lanka. So you know where Sibi would have default, no? Ayodhya, somewhere northwest. Up, he comes all the way to help the people out, the sages, the munis in Sri Lanka, because they're being tortured. And there's again 2 stories to it. One, they say it is Ravana by then, who had completed his penance. He's such a ardent devotee of Shiva, but still also decides to torture because he feels arrogant about the powers. So he comes to teach him a lesson, but in between, there's a very interesting story about this 3007 Vaishnavas, which also happened that time. He's being stopped by Markandeya, and that is where this flavor starts. Markandeya, all of us know, okay, he has been blessed to live for eternity. But at one point of time, Markandeya sees that people below him, who are born after him, are passing away, and they are all going for moksha. They are trying to liberate. He goes back to Shiva and says, oh my God, I thought you have given me a boon of being ever young, but now I understand there is something more significant, which is you attaining moksha or liberation or revolution, whatever it is. Or so now Shiva says, boss, I can give boons. This is a boon which I've never given to anyone, gave it to you. But if you want moksha, there is one guy, and that is Vishnu. You have to go to him. So Markandeya comes to the same Thiruvallarai and have been in penance for long to get this moksha. A guy who has been allowed to live forever tells, I do not want, I want to get something beyond, and that is moksha. He comes, so he tells Sibi Chakravarti, stops him there. He says, you are going to get one guy in your lineage who's going to be the Lord himself. And that is one significance to tell. Yeah, it was the Lord Vishnu himself came, because he was intuitively knowing. He said, you have to go back. But before going, having come all the way, bring 3,700 Vaishnavite families and make them settle here. So he goes to northwest, where the Vaishnavism had actually taken off, and he brings these 3,700 families, settles them in Thiruvallarai. And people who love Vaishnavism will know Thiruvallarai is the home bed of all Vaishnavites. Any person who's a Vaishnavite here, his great grandfather should have been from Thiruvallarai. So he brings all of them and settles. So this is what happens. And this is what there is a lot of story about what happens. And for people who doubt it, are you damn sure that in Thiruvallarai, Markandeya was there? There is also Mahalakshmi, who comes and tells, okay, everything in Parkadal, no, in the sea of milk where Narayana sits, is all yours. Why don't you give me something? I said, see, here everything is mine. why don't you go to Bulok and pray for me? And that is what it is believed that they were praying. And around 8 years back, when the family whom I told in Tiruvallare did the excavation, they found that not only the temple is on the mound, but as they excavated, they came through this beautiful cave. And this cave has two places where this is Mahalakshmi and this is where Markandeya meditated. So you have this beautiful shrine. It has two entrances. Only 4 of Vaishnava temples have something like this. So you have Adisheshan, you have Vishnu with the Prayoga Chakram. Again, 3 places is where you have Vishnu seeing with this Prayoga Chakram. The Chakram is just altered this way, ready to go. Other place it is called Udyoga Chakram. Vishnu with a chakram like this, okay, flat, horizontal to you. Okay, there is one perpendicular to him, like here, what you see, and that is there in Srirangam on the shrine, Vanamamalai and Tiruvallare are the only 3 places where you will see here. You have Markandeya, you have Uma Devi, you have Garuda, Adisheshan. Interestingly, these 2 guys who are outside also stand besides him, and this is the only temple of its kind. No. So this is where we start. So Sibi Chakravarti comes to to teach Ravana a lesson. He's sent back, but he also brings the whole Vaishnavite culture and gets the whole land prepared for another form of, a sect of Vaishnavism to the whole country. So that starts. From there, we jump to this place called Tirupulani. Tirupulani is again a beautiful temple somewhere in Ramnad. Ramnad is down south, extreme down south, known for 3-4 very beautiful temples. And Tirupulani also literally translates. Tiru means Shri, okay, generally indicates Vishnu. And Pulani is pull. So someone had slept on bed of grass. So that is what it means, a lovely temple. And this is the shrine. It is called as Valar Arasamaram. Okay. And this tree is so significant. You will see these branches. I have taken this from an angle where you will appreciate this branch. See, the branch actually flows down to touch you. And that is and even the leaves of this tree are very, very different, and you get a very surreal feeling. I'm not one person who gets very sensitive on these energies and all, but I could feel something. It's very, very, very different. Only place where you will see the tree branches bend down. So why did it bend down? Here is this. You will see always next to also this Talavriksham, usually Nagas, right? They do a Naga Pratishtha, like in case they feel like this is usually done if you don't have children, but for various other reasons also, our practice is to put, but here you see a huge platform of innumerable Nagas being consecrated. People come, donate, but now it is no more a practice. It was age old. Now, why it is so significant? Why so much Nagas were there? It is another shot. So you'll see the concentration. In fact, it is 4 layers. You will see 4 to 5 layers of Naga, and there is no space at all. People actually put these in between wherever you get space. So why suddenly it is so significant? Because this is the place where, of all the places in the world, in India, Dasharatha's son-in-law, Rishi Shringa, decided as a place of significance to perform Putra Kamashti Yagam. We know about this. He performed a yajna to get children, right? This is the place. So he had come, and possibly one of these Nagas is the Naga which Dasharatha had left. So again, another place. I got really bonked telling, wow, one of the history is so well captured in our place. So you'll see there is the Darvasaina Ramar, Patabhisheka Ramar, and Santala Gopala Krishna. So this is a beautiful Santana Gopala Krishna shrine. This is what. And that time, what he did when Ashwamedha Yaga got performed here. And these 2 places, you see a small Yajna-kund. These are the places where Raja Dashrath had performed Ashwamedha Yaga. So sometime when your children are asking, I do not know, is there any other epic where we have so much of proof standing proof. Someone can't go around lying the whole country and create different things, right? So this is Santana Gopala Krishna. So Santana Gopala Krishna, you understand, this is something you do when you need a child. And in fact, the speciality is this prasad. You get a milk prasad. You know what Dasharatha got, right, from fire? What was it? The rice porridge. Even today, in this temple alone, rice porridge is the prasad here. And he congregated also one Santana Gopala Krishna, awesome piece of statue. Most of people don't give much significance to this Tirupalani temple when they come and they go see Rama and leave. But this is a lovely piece of a statue which is approximately should be 14 feet. You will never ever see the Santana Gopala Krishna temple like this, a shrine like this. It has a Kurma Pedam in the bottom. A little bit closer, you get a Gaja Sarpa Pedam here. And there is a definitely Adisheshan, and you have a Santana Gopala Krishna. So he's on a Adishesha Pedam with these three Pedams, one over another. So he's sitting on a sandwich of three Pedams, and they're ready to bless people. And it was actually put up by Dasharatha himself when he performed the yajna there. And you saw this yajna kunda here. These two were used by him. So this is another place to tell, okay, Rama, and we have Dash. So we have started from Shri, come to Dasharatha. Now we get into this place called Alvar Tirunagari. Again, one of the places, beautiful. Everyone know this is a place where Nammalvar was born. Nammalvar or became very significant. As a small child, okay, he was born and there was no movement, no crying, no movement in the body. They brought him to this temple. And he walked into one of these tamarind trees and got into the hole of the tamarind tree. People were stunned, parents were shocked because a child, a baby, just born baby, moves, and they were not even aware that this baby, which never moved, could crawl up to the tree. And the beauty, again, we need to understand, take our children in case you are going anywhere near Tirunelveli, go to this temple. You will be stunned to see how biology itself transforms itself towards the divinity. And here you have this tamarind tree. We understand any tree in the morning gives oxygen, evening gives carbon dioxide. Morning photosynthesis, we all understand enough of science of it. But here the beauty is any tree has to reverse that process. That is why they say after 6 o'clock, don't go around a tree, because after the sunset, the process change. So trees take in carbon dioxide, oxygen, and give out carbon dioxide. Here, because Nammalvar stayed inside one of the space in the trunk of the tree, and for 16 years reciting. So everyone who knows a little bit of Vaishnavam knows that he stayed here, and he was, and all gods nearby. There are another 8 beautiful Perumal temples, which is called Navatirupati. All that Perumal were supposed to come here and listen to this Nammalvar. So this tamarind tree never ever sleeps, meaning all the 24 hours for all these years, always gives oxygen. A big marvel. And second interesting thing, it gets tamarind, but the tamarind never ripes. So these are marvels which are there for us to see. Only thing, this what tamarind, what I'm showing, I have gone up, taken permission to take this photograph as well. And I have certain videos where this tamarind we have photographed and which has never ripened. It is there, it is there as unripe, and it just falls. Another significant, in fact, one thing I know, I'm just deviating a bit, but you should also understand, like this is a place when Nammalvar, he became very significant, started talking about Vaishnavam. People asked, like, can we make a statue of you, because after you're gone, let us have a statue to worship. He says, bring water from the nearby river, heat it up, and start allow the water to keep heating up. And suddenly they find a statue inside made of copper. And that is why the river is called Tamarabarani, so one of the very religious rivers. And that's another bit of story. But we all know about Nammalvar. But who's this Nammalvar? So Namalvar also, there is a lot of proof, okay, to tell he was born on 43rd day of Kali Yuga, and 16 years he was inside the trunk of the tree. A lovely photograph, artistic picture of how he was. So this is the tree which I am talking of. In fact, this tree has split itself into a 7-hooded snake, a very, very unusual form where way the tamarind grows. Now we come a little bit into his history. So we also know Ramayana, and we also know Sita was sent, the Dobby story we know, right? She was 5 months pregnant. She was sent into the forest. Lakshmana leaves her in the forest, and Lavakusha are born in Valmiki's ashram. And at 15 years, they take hold of this Ashwamedha horse. And why this 15 years it took for Rama, 15-year youth? She was 5 months pregnant. So approximately 16 years, we don't have Rama seeing Sita at all. But Rama, when he decides to leave the world, okay, he, after giving the coronating love and push, he would have completed 11 years, and then he takes what is called a Jala Samadhi in the famous Saryu river next to Ayodhya. So he says, I have to set right of sending away my wife for 16 years to forest. And he says, I will be reborn so that I set right this. And it is the same Rama who gets reborn as Namalvar, meditates for 16 years. So even for gods, the rules are the same. So Namalvar is the god himself. He comes, takes a birth here, and tells, I will set right the injustice. Because see, there is something called a social justice. There is something called as individual justice. There is something called the justice of a matrimony. When you walk this 7 steps, or possibly what you do across the fire ceremony while you marry, you accept to take care of your wife. So no, but why did Sita had to undergo this? There is another beautiful legend. Sita, when she's around 5 years old, a girl running around in Janakapuri, she hears this one couple parrot, Thota and Myna, talking about Ramayana, and they tell like one day you will have a very, very lovely, handsome boy coming, breaking Shiva Dhanush and marrying you. And she's interviewed, and she's a small girl, right? So she says, oh my God, then tell me the rest of the story. And these two people have been from Valmiki Ashram, so they know the whole Ramayana. So she says, no, you have to stay back. And Tota says, Tota is the male, Myna is the female. She's
Hello, sir.
Sita for what she is achieving, and she puts him in the cage. And Myna had been in the cage for 16 years. So that karma is also there. So even for gods, this applies. And this is the beautiful sculpture which is there in Alvar Tirunagari. So this is how everything entwines. So there is impossible for someone to go tell a story in Nepal unless until it has really happened. Again, we jump back to Tiruvallarai. Why Tiruvallarai? The first temple, you know. And here we see our Hanumanji. Now we have Sita captured off, taken to Lanka. We do not know where it is, but Ram wants Hanuman to go do a survey. So when the survey is supposed to be done, and they get all this details, like it is going to be the extreme south, Anjaneya comes to this Tiruvallarai because this is the first Perumal, and he prays though Rama blessings are there, but this is the place where he came and prayed in Tiruvallari, that the Perumal temple which I showed, the first Perumal temple. Again, this Ramayana jumps here, and we have Hanumanji coming here seeking the prayers so that he will reach Lanka. And this is one shrine, a small shrine there in the fourth pragaram. Please do not miss. And something beautiful what to see is his eyes. His eyes are so lively as a real eye would be. So this is some, it's all Karya Siddhi Anjaneer. To get Siddhi for that Karyam, the work what you're going to undertake, this is the Anjaneer. So he's called. Again, from there, we jump back to Tirupulani. So in Tirupulani, again, Rama comes back and he understands this is a place where Dasharatha performed Yajna for him, and this is where his mothers had come. They had taken the milk porridge and they have given birth, or possibly these people all were born. So when he comes back, he sees this is a place where I have prayed, and this is a place he comes scouting to do a geographical map. Because if you see, this Gulf of Mannar is the closest to Lanka. But interestingly, Ram Setu bridge doesn't start from there. It starts from this place, a place which is close to this place called Devi Pattanam. We'll see that. But here he comes and he's so tired, and he asks Lakshmana, can I just lie down? Can I just, and it is a forest. So Lakshmana is being Adisheshan, we know. But still he says, please hold on. He goes around, collects some grass, makes a bed of it. And that is where on the lap of the lap being the pillow, Lakshmana lap being the pillow, and grass being the bed, you have Rama sleeping here, and that's why this place is called Tirupulani. One interesting piece which the legend says, after Rama sends Sita to forest, he never ever slept in the bed. He always slept on a grass. So that is the kind of what no one is going to see this, right? But see how people could be there and lived to show like what you can be. So this is that shrine which you have in the side of the main shrine, which is this Kodandaraman shrine, where you also see he, after getting ready, and he gets going to, and from there he looks around, he finds this Gulf of Mannar is one of the easiest, the shortest distance. But he also understands, because this place is also very deep. Even if you see geographically now, that is a very deep place, and there are a lot of ocean waves. So he comes to this place called Devi Pattanam, where he finds the waves are limited because of the ridge, natural ridge. That is a ridge which is there, and he decides to start a construction of this bridge, which is called as Rama Setu from there. And interestingly, he goes, and still, though he is sure that there are no much waves, there he goes to an Perumal shrines are there. This is called Varada Hastam. So it is done in this way. Usually Perumal is like this. This is one of the few places like it's here like this. He goes to pray to himself to make an assurance there will not be waves in the Shri. Surprisingly, you go to Devi Pattanam, even today, you will never ever see a wave. And in fact, interestingly, this is the name of that Jagannatha Perumal. Kadaladaitha Aj Jagannatha Perumal. Adi old Jagannath Perumal, the whole Jagannathan, Jagan, the whole world Perumal, who controlled the sea. So see how significant. We didn't make it complicated. We didn't give a name which people will not understand. Shri Kadaladaitha Adi Jagannatha Perumal. And you had this monkey entourage building this, and this is what it is. See, from here, if you are going to look from here, it will be very easy to do. And this is the NASA satellite picture of this ridge, and this has been carbon dated to found like this is man-made. And there is a lot of data, and today we always need a data from a foreign source. You have sufficient foreign source to tell this is man-made, and I can give you all these details. So it is not the shortest, but he was also very scared about taking his people. So it is not about getting your job done. Okay, today it is about job done, but he also took care of subjects. He wanted to know, even in this kind of a calamity, this Hanuman and the whole team of people not to suffer a lot. So this is a natural ridge on which they have built this mountain. And interestingly, the Hanumanji next to it is called Sedu Bandhana Jayavira Anjaneya. So this is the beauty of it, the beauty of this place, how it was built. So Gulf of Mannar, Dhanushkodi, if you go to Rameshwaram, you know that is the closest point to Sri Lanka. But he took a little longer route, but he found that is the safety for the people. All said and done, he goes, he fights, comes back, and happy, right? So Vibhishana helps him. So Vibhishana comes with him. There is this Ramar Pattabhishekam, beautiful thing, all the goddesses, everyone are rejoicing. So here comes the Vibhishana also. Vibhishana on the way back, he sees Ayodhya and he sees everywhere there is divinity. So I think now they also had a habit of a return gift when you come for a function. So it was a coronation of Rama himself. So I believe there they had one of a very beautiful Ranganatha Swami. And if you see, there is a beautiful story about it. And this is from Srirangam. Little bit, I thought I should share about Srirangam. Srirangam is the largest functional temple of the world, built around a space of 156 acres, 21 gopurams, 54 shrines, and 39 mandap. My wife is from Trichy, and her grandmother is a very ardent Vaishnavite. She was telling, I used to have vibhuti, so for me it is all same, but for them, Vaishnavism is everything. So she used to tell, try staying in Srirangam for 3 years, still you will never be able to complete the temple. So that was a kind of a message, a warning as well, to tell so much is to be there, explored. And I understood after my 7-8 visits to Srirangam, I did 2 sessions on Srirangam, light on legends and things like that, talking about how amazing it is. And each time I do, I get to know something more. So this is one, I think, one of our traditions where it is not that someone tells and someone hears, someone is better, someone is, no. If you have 48 people listening, all 48 people can cross integrate ourselves, and we can go richer with more knowledge. So this is what Srirangam is for you, one of the biggest, largest functional temple. Now people will tell, what about Angkor? Angkor Wat is the world largest, but that is not functional. It is not being prayed. So functional temple, it is Srirangam. And this is the story of it. So Brahma, after all his creation, all this kalpa, all those things, I don't want to get into that, but again, it has all theory, and you have this Big Bang theory. You can become a great grandfather expert on Big Bang theory once you understand our shastras on how this all got performed. So we have this Brahma sitting in this milk ocean, which is called Parkadal, and he starts praying to Vishnu because he's the protector and he's just a creator. So he's in all bliss, created the whole world, the cosmos, Milky Way, we have our solar system, Earth, all the beauty is done. So he's in prayer, and from this ocean of milk comes this beautiful, what is called as a Pranavakara Vimana. Beautiful Vimana with the shrine, and he continues to pray. And at one point of time, his people, Malan, who supposed to be a divine architect, he comes to the world and he tells there is a lot of story, like who all were Purohits for this temple, who all took care of this shrine, all that is there. At one point of time, they say, we'll give it to Ishuvaku, because that is the tradition, because he was the first priest, and Ishuvaku dynasty, so it is there in Ayodhya all these years. And this is that Ramar Pattabhishekam, Vibhishana's here, and from that ocean of milk, Ishuvaku Muni, Surya Kulam, that is the sun dynasty, you had the shrine being prayed in Ayodhya, and as a written gift, being a king, he asked what you want, and he asked for this family deity. Rama, for being what he is, he couldn't say no. He hands it over, and you know the story. He comes over, taking on the way to Srirangam, on the way to Sri Lanka. He wants to do Sandhya Vandanam, or possibly felt it heavy. He wanted to place it on a very beautiful island, and he comes to perform that evening oblations, which is called as what we call as in Brahmins. I'm just missing that word. I'll come. Anyway, offering his prayers, evening prayers, and so he puts it down and he can't take it back. It is stuck, and he understands now he will stay here, and that is Srirangam for you. And please understand, the Srirangam, what we have is not the center Sanctum Santorum, which you don't even have an option to circumambulate because the first pragaram is never opened. Also is filled below with thousands of shaligram, and that's a beautiful story. Like because there the yoni, the water outlet, is actually facing up, and if you know why it is facing up and not down, as in any other temple, we get to know so much things about it. Why it is that way? So he's there, and he says as a promise, I'll stay back, but I'll be facing Lanka. So that is how we got this Rama staying back with us. So incidentally, it is only past 250, 300 years. Whatever we have best, we keep it to ourselves or we give it to the generations to come. There we come from actually a tradition where anything which is the best, okay, was always given to the Lord. And that is why we had this Sri Ranganatha and this beautiful statue of what he was called as Alagiya Manavalan, which every Muslim king was behind, because they thought it is made up of a gold which is purer than 24 karat gold. Again, there is a lot about this Muslim history and what they did, and this is Alagiya Manavalan. And this is something which you need to know, because he is the Moolavar and he is the Vyshava who goes out, because this small Perumal has to go out. He is also given a slipper. See this? Beauty, no? So we just don't tell, we do it. And the another beautiful thing is what he was married. See this dollar. This is Sri Ranganatha. Okay, because there are a lot of women, I thought I'll show something on jewelry, they'll get interested. So you have this Sri Ranganatha, and Sri Ranganatha also, this Sri Ranganatha, this is the Vyshava, and he has one of this dollar, yeah, the necklace, huge one, the temple jewelry. And please see, the stone is carved. The ruby, the emeralds are carved. So it is not gold which is done a kind of a temple work. You take a precious stone and carve that precious stone to get the face of Ranganatha here, the hand, limbs. The Shri Devi, Bhudevi also have their hands carved. And we were also giving significance to everything, because after ages, this whole temple got covered in mud, and you had one of those older cholas, they are called Dharmavarman, or he was called subsequently called Kili Chola. He came to Srirangam once, and he heard these two parrots singing Vedas. He was stunned and he got this place removed, and that is how Srirangam again came back to life. And it was not named after this Chola. In fact, the Chola himself called them after that as Kili Chola. Kili means parrot. And the first mandapam across the main shrine is still called Kili Mandapam. So that is the tradition where we came from. We never ever had the best for us. We gave all the best to a person who is better than us, and that is how Srirangam came. So this is the tradition. After seeing this, I used to get goosebumps telling, oh my God, this is a place we have. Only thing is, past 200 years, today you know who's world richest, right? You know 10 years back who was world richest. Please understand, we were the world richest as India, but you will never know which was a king who was the richest. There should be definitely a king who's richest, but we never had a tradition of giving importance to a person who was the richest. We come from a tradition which was always giving importance to a person who gave the most. So that is why Ashoka was written when he gave away everything. Everywhere we were givers, and the givers were getting acknowledged. All these years, just 200 years is a small aberration. I think we should go back to that. And next time when you please visit a temple, please spend some time. That is my very humble request. Whatever I got little bit is because I could spend some time than just putting an attendance. We are not going to school. It is not compulsory. It is not mandatory. In fact, we come from a tradition where visiting temple is not at all essential. You can still be a Hindu by not visiting temple. No one is going to ask any question. But please, if you go spend some time, sink into that environment, understand the legend, understand the history, know the shrine, understand the significance, and please, please, please share it for the generations to come. Thanks so much for patiently hearing. And I think I'm just 1 minute before I'm completing my session as well. Thanks so much for patient hearing. And this was my first time attempt of taking one epic and connecting all the temples, what I saw. Ramanathan sir, thanks so much for telling. That is Sandhya Vandanam for people, the person who's, Vibhishana, who's had to stop by for his Sandhya Vandanam. So I'm done. I have taken that half a minute also, madam. So completed at 5 and all yours.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was phenomenal. We thoroughly enjoyed it. Absolutely a totally different perspective and a different outlook at temples and how to look at things. Very, very nice. We really enjoyed. So I would like to, before I call others, I kindly request Sailesh Joshila to felicitate our Srinivasan sir, and then we will go for question answer session or whatever add-ons. Yes,
Yeah.
Sailesh? And I kindly request one of the past chairpersons, if somebody is interested, please raise your hand. We can give the floor to you. Past chairpersons of Tamil Nadu Adivaisha Mahila Sabha.
And
Yes,
madam, I'm sure there are much more temples. These are the temples which I visited. Generally, don't talk on any temple which I have not visited, because that's a first-hand experience. So I'll be very happy to learn. Having come here, I want to learn and go. If you
very
people
nice.
can add
Wonderful,
anything,
wonderful.
I'm very happy
We've
to.
been getting lots of wonderful feedback from everybody. So very passionately rendered an engaging talk. I think engaging talk was the order of the day. Many people had mentioned that. Thank you so much. You really had us all, glued to whatever you were telling us. We were listening to you and we were really enthralled and we were on the magic carpet. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Sailesh, over to you. Unmute. You're not okay. I'll unmute you. Yeah, come on.
Namaskaram. This was quite unexpected. Not the talk that Mr. Srinivasan gave, because you don't need to see the whole bag of rice when it is getting cooked to see whether it is good or not. Just a little, What was unexpected was Sujata ma'am asking me to talk about him. I don't know if I'm the right person to talk about him, but I am the happiest person to talk about him after having heard him. Sir, I have a few thoughts that I have in mind. I will share them very quickly. I see you as a person who's into a character building exercise. You're not just into corporate world and you're not doing business. Not just that. I think you're doing a lot of other things. But one seems to be character building exercise that you're doing, because you, through the talk of a God, you're trying to humanize the God so that we can understand what a God needs to do and what a person needs to do to become God. The two seem very contiguous that way. I felt that for people who, even if you're not interested in itihasa, as you said, mythology is a rubbish word which Victorians use. It's not the right word. Itihasa, even if people are not interested in itihasa, after hearing your talk, I feel they get initiated into it. Definitely. I saw you going from Shri to Dasaratha to Lavkush. I think it's a great thing to have, because the young generation, when they want to hear something, they want everything scientifically told, everything in chronologically order, to be told chronologically. They don't want to hear tidbits here and there. They want everything in a structured format. And I think you're just the right person for this generation. We are completely hooked on to you, sir. I realized that what you are doing about what you're telling about a king, I think that is the most prominent, sir. We have the richest people in the world that we talk about, and there are there are YouTube posts on who's the greatest and who's the wealthiest, who gives the most. I think that is, I don't think we have talked like that at all about kings. This is something new which you've talked about. Maybe we think, but we never have the courage to talk all that. You have been a great, great addition to our lives, sir. We will never forget you. I also felt that when you talk of temple construction, sir, I'm quite convinced that you're not a very big fan of just some modern temple being constructed and a god being placed in a marble case somewhere. I think you want temples being constructed newly, yes, but with the ancient architecture that even Praveen Mohan talks about. So we found the second person apart from Praveen Mohan. I thank Tamil Nadu Adivaisha Mahila Sabha for letting me speak. I am too excited. Thank you so much. Thank you, Srinivasan sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Sailesh Garu. That was very, very nice. Very, very impressive. Yes, I think somebody had asked you about the story of Sita again, 5-year-old sweet Sita. Please do, if you can, repeat it later on. Now I'd like to hand over the floor to Mr. S. Veer Raghavan, spoken English trainer from Coimbatore. Over to you, sir. You can unmute yourself.
Thank you, Sujata madam. of all the first, congrats for having such a wonderful program. Really, first time I'm listening. Of course, he has been a wonderful trainer in English, soft skills and all. But as regards temple, first time I'm listening. But in another other programs like Vanga Koilka program, he has been talking in Tamil for the last several weeks. I have been one of the participants and I enjoy every day. As he mentioned, try to understand the concepts, legendary things, our history and all. That not only our generation, our future generation also missing. They have been playing with all the internet and all so many things. They know something about science. They know nothing about our temples, tradition, historical events, about God or godliness and all. But these are all the programs which will help them to understand. In future, my suggestion is we must attend with the family. We must call our youngsters to listen something. Then they will have the idea to know more and more about it. Definitely, as he said, it is not visiting temples. It is knowing something about the temples. It's a wonderful awareness because even we can stay at home and worship God, but we cannot know all these things. How this architecture, why it has happened, who constructed it, what is the thing behind it and all. Really, scientifically, our Srinivasan sir has been explaining. Once again, I thank Mahila Sabha and for the program arranged. So in future, we must attend with our youngsters. That is my request. Thank you, madam. Thank you for the opportunity.
Our pleasure, sir. Wonderfully put it. Yes, we will take it up and we will bring in children. They should be aware of all these things. We do understand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma. Thank you very much. Bye, ma.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Janani, unmute yourself and yeah.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I am Janani Amaresh from Coimbatore. I have been listening Srinivasan sir's every lecture on temple since he started. He started by when the pandemic started. Then I was like the most extroverted person going outside always. Then the pandemic came. No, I was devastated because I didn't go anywhere. And his show was the only thing that showed me new temples which I didn't go, which I didn't know. So Tiruvallarai, he spoke about Tiruvallarai today. 2 weeks before he did a session, especially on how they are completing this temple. It's an incomplete temple and they are doing it again, and it's like impossible. Like it puts things into perspective. No, like in olden days, like even with this JCP modern machineries, they are struggling. In those days, what did they have? What made them to achieve that? So many temples of intricate works, massiveness. So I thank Srinivasan sir for coming up with this idea first, because as a teenager, I am not that much into books. I am fed up with school studies itself. Books itself for me is very tough to read. And if you give a book about, if the same speech comes in book, no, I won't even touch that. Most people like to hear things than reading it nowadays. So, like Veera Raghavan sir said, it should reach more youngsters because this is the easiest way to know our stories nowadays. Thank you.
Good job, Janani, and we wish you all the very best to go greater heights in archaeology. Okay, all the very best to you.
Here, I would like to answer Janani only one sentence, ma. Okay, madam.
Yeah, please, please.
Janani really she spoke well. Listening is the best method of learning. If everybody keeps, including the youth, they can rise up their level of success to any extent. Thank you, ma. Have a wonderful life. Thank you.
Thank you. Best wishes, Janani. Now I kindly request one of our wonderful, dynamic, enthusiastic chairperson, Vaijayanti Mukala, to felicitate or to talk about whatever you're looking.
First of all, I would like to thank Srinivasan Garu. He gave an excellent speech. I have visited all the temples I mentioned, but sad to say, I did not know the history. I thought Nammalvar was under the tree for 16 years, but I never knew that he was Ramavataram. So like that, so many important aspects you brought into our notice. I'm very, very thankful to you. I hope I visit these places once again and see the significance. Even though I know the history of the Nammalvar, he was there like that, and all the Alvars came and visited him, then only he spoke everything, all that history I know because I'm a staunch Vaishnavite. to speak about, and know Nalayaram also to some extent. Even then, I never knew that Rama was Namalvar. Like there's so many things, even Lavakush, all those things you enlightened us. And the place where Dasaratha did the Yagam, Vastirivalade, all those things, I was not aware. Maybe we should know more about the history, I think. Thank you so much. We are really touched. Hope you will give us more like this. You should be an enlightening force to the youngsters. Thank you.
That was very, very nice, Vaijayanti. Excellently put all our thoughts and yes, thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Hi, Ruchi. Over to you, Ruchi. Unmute yourself.
Hello. It was a very nice lecture. Thank you for having this lecture. Actually, about Srirangam. Called. Can you hear me?
Now, yes.
Yes, Ruchi.
There is a shrine inside that Kili Mandapa called Bibi. I'm not really sure about the name. I'm very sorry. It's a Muslim princess over there. And there's a story connected with the idol inside, the gold idol inside that you had mentioned. And at that time also, something happened over there. The father, I think it was a Muslim king from.
She is called Tuluka Nachiyar, and because Tulukam is something like what generally we use it to tell a Muslim. She is a Muslim princess of Alauddin bin Khilji, and they come to take it. And this is quite a detailed story, madam, what happened and how she got become one with the God. See, other religions will even be scared to tell this. A person of other religion becoming one with your God. And we have gone ahead very audaciously with so much of pride told like this religion, even that religion God person came and embraced our Lord. I have done couple of sessions on Srirangam, interpreting all these things. Possibly I can share the link with Sujata madam. You can have a look at it. I have covered this. What happened, what time of the year it happened, who did this, what was the travel plan, what happened to Ramanuja at that time. Possibly if you have further questions, you can just keep asking, sharing the thoughts. I will try to see whether I can pick up that slide for you from my Srirangam presentation.
No, during her time, again, God himself has come to, he was in that idol, God, he himself came from there to meet his devotee. So after asking the locals only, I came to know this. I just had like a brief idea, but what was the name of the god?
Bibi Nachiyar.
Who came, had another avatar actually.
This is Bibi Nachiyar whom you are telling.
Yes, to meet, yes, to meet
Alauddin Khilji, commander of Malik Kafur, who came and picked up this Aligya Manawala. So there are a lot of people. Even the Chera king, he gave away his daughter. Chera Kulavalli. There is another shrine like this who gave away, and she came surprisingly, because we talk about Bibi Nachiyar, we forget about the Chera Kulavalli. She's one more prince, and all this started with Jatavarma Sundara Pandya, who came and gave the only person who had given what is called as elephant Tulabaram. Sit on an elephant, you also sit on a chariot and give your equal weight. Lovely piece of history there as well, man. I was just interviewed to go ahead and share Ruchi madam for this. Thanks.
Please, thank you so much for sharing. I just wanted to know the name, like Namalvar you had told, that was another avatar where God himself had come down. And this one also the local had told, but don't know the name of the avatar of that God of when came to meet the devotee. The thing was they gave chapati. So I was wondering how come they gave chapati as prasadam in Srirangam? Because wheat is like North India, right? So how is it even connected? Then they were telling about the Muslim princess and everything.
Yeah.
And asking the local, they said God himself had come to meet the devotee, and she was a very ardent devotee of Vishnu.
Andal, Chera Kulavalli. There are a lot of people. Just dissolved himself with them, with him. Sorry. Yeah. Thanks so much for adding that as well.
Thanks, Ruchi. Very, very nice. Wonderful. yes, throwing light on different aspects. Very, very nice. Yes, Jai Bharati, over to you.
First, congratulations to Tamil Nadu Arya Vaishya Mahila Sabha and Sujata Madam for organizing such an eye-opening, event. In fact, Sir has thrown light on so many temples, and I mean, very powerful part of all these temples, the legendary, godlike temples, and it was so fluently done. From a corporate trainer in Tamil and English, and fluently and easily understandable way, he's thrown light on various temples and its its legacies and importance. What generation of our generation and future generations should certainly know. In fact, linking science and these temples beautifully was done, and it all went in no moment. The whole lecture, it was quite enjoyable, and we wish to have more of such lectures from Srinivasan sir. It was our privilege to be part of this session, so thank you so much.
Very sweet of you. Thank you so much. We are also we are getting brownie points since he has come here. I think Sailesh also was just saying, ma'am, this is one of the best programs that you have conducted, he was telling me. So I'm really pleased. Thank you so much. Yes, sir, would you like to talk again? Veera Raghavan, sir. I think he's not here. Yes, Manimala, over to you. Unmute yourself and talk, Manimala. We're not able to hear you, Manimala. Vinatla. ఇప్పుడు వింటా ఉంది మాట్లాడండి.
It was a very wonderful program, very interesting, and visually atle తీసుకెళ్ళిపోయారు స్టోరీలోకి. The method he was showing was very good and simply superb. Sir, recently, some 6 years back, we have constructed a Saraswati temple. Please come and visit our temple. We'll be very happy to take you there. It's a request from our side.
It's a blessing. And Saraswati, there are very few temples. There is one in Coimbatore, one of real magnificently done. Very little temples for Brahma and Saraswati.
Yes.
Possibly we gave importance to material wealth than wisdom and knowledge. That also gets translated to what temples are built. Which part of the country, madam, is this Saraswati temple?
Chennai. Near Medipalam, sir. It's my husband's vision to bring a Saraswati temple in Chennai.
I'm coming for sure, 100% the next visit.
Yes, sir. Please, sir, we will take you there whenever you come to Chennai. Please come.
It's a beautiful place. We all enjoy it.
So much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sujata.
Yes, Vaishyanarayana garu. Vaishyanarayanan.
Yes, Narayan.
Sir, really your name is Vaishyanarayanan?
Okay. That is not an issue today. In fact, you all people are very lucky to have Srinivasan on your forum. Because I know Srinivasan for quite a long time. Very enterprising gentleman. All the Coimbatore must be knowing him, particularly those who are in JCs, particularly those who are in banking industry, particularly those having in management institutions, which I have like that. So he's a person, he will talk very less, but he got wonderful knowledge in every subject, whatever he's dealing with. In fact, in these 3 temples which he have covered, for us in Koyilukupavangam, he covered almost 7 to 8 weeks. And in spite of that, we are not satisfied the information, because he's having enormous knowledge. The flow of thought comes to him like anything. Only time permits, like every hour, every time he keeps only an hour. We starts 6 o'clock, we'll complete by 7 o'clock. Then question hours with a half an hour. It will end by 7:30. When I was in United States of America in 2018-19, I attended. Now in Australia, I'm not leaving him. Where I go, I attended that. One more interesting thing I want to tell Srinivasan brother Chandrasekhar. He's in fact a director behind him. He always Srinivasan go and discuss with him whatever subject, and Chandrasekhar will always tell to him, no, this is not enough, you add this, you add that. this is not enough. You had, that conversation between Chandrasekhar and Srinivasan. I know him well. They're having such a beautiful brotherlyhood. Like, one is kind of a Ram, another is a kind of a Lakshman. I can compare presently. In the other way, that seeing Srinivasan's eye view, we have eagle view. He sees a temple in a different angle, and he goes and then meet the trustees. He go meet the priest. He go and meet the archaeology department, find out everything, and come back very nicely. One or two points I just wanted to, because this I covered there. If anybody is interested in music, Tyagaraja has covered a lot of songs in all the temples what Srinivasan has spoken, and Arunachal Kavirayar also has spoken a lot of songs. He connected about 100 songs which connected all the temples what Srinivasan says. Particularly Tirupulani, where the negotiation between Vibhishana and the friendship came. He came all the way. He met Vibhishana met Ram in that Vedarnam area only. So all these things are there, which you go deep into that, you'll understand. I'm very happy that this Tamil Nadu Mahila Vaishya Association has invited Srinivasan, and also gave me an opportunity to express my felicitation to him. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. We are really honored. Definitely. We've been hearing quite a lot of things about his lectures and all. We will also go into all the videos and we will check it out, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thanks a lot. Yeah, Sumati?
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Mr. Srinivasan Garu, you have spoken extremely interestingly, because many people who go to temples go there just because they have to go there and do standard rituals and traditions. They do not know more than that. But everyone would like to know what you have told us today. And more than that, I would like to speak on behalf of children. See, children's lives, in children's lives, tradition, culture, all these are just fading out very, very fast. But at the back of their mind, they want to know about everything. They keep on asking questions about who is this, why is this done, what is this, and all that. And you have the knack of explaining in a very beautiful and attractive way. I just wish you start an academy or something and train people like storytelling, no? You train them up so more and more people can spread and all these facts to generations that are, forgetting all this. Finally, one fine day, if this does not happen, we will see traditions only in history books and TV serials. That will be the end of it. So I really wish you are able to start this at least, because I really found it very, very interesting. The way you put across things more than, the facts is very interestingly put. So I really wish you do something about this. Let us bring up the traditions in our children. Thank you very much. It was beautiful.
You, very nicely put. Thank you so much. Actually, even Maheshwari, our treasurer, also was putting in the groups, I've been to that temple, I've been to this temple. So she was also, so you brought back so many memories and different perspectives. I kindly request Maheshwari to say a few words before we hand over the floor.
Yeah. Actually, I got...
I'm sorry.
I am from Ramanathapuram. I stayed there 11 years, and after 11 years, we shifted our family. So I visited all the temples what you told today. So all memories coming back to me actually. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Very interesting and very, very informative, sir. Thank you so much.
I'm just reflecting our tradition. It is all there, madam. Only thing,
exactly.
As how Sumati madam told, like it needs someone to tell. Like we had grandmothers every place who told all these stories.
Yeah.
We in process of losing grandmothers, we lost everything. I wish somewhere this gets registered to the next generation. They are the whole fulcrum. They are the roots. And I had a grandmother who told me I was interviewed. Then it went to temple. Then I got a blessing of Vasavi Mata to be part of the temple. Then I understood why a Garbhagriha has to be put here and not there. Why the Sanctum Sanctorium has to be placed in this direction. Why it has to be square. Why it can't be a round. And for whom it can be round. And within that space inside, where you can put, for a Vaishya, where you have to put, and what metal it can carry. And oh my God, everything is a science. Just because we didn't have, because we were ignorant, we thought like we have nothing. So we had everything, and that is what is unfolding. And possibly I'm using these opportunities to get myself upgraded. Nothing beyond my upgradation. It's an opportunity for me to learn as well.
Thank you. I kindly request Ananta Garu.
One
Neerja?
small question. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Are you able to hear
Okay.
Neerja, madam? Ananta sir? Smriti madam?
It was a wonderful talk, sir. Your very first question triggered another question in my mind. Why do you go to temples? That has been a very big question for me, because the same God that we are praying here, you go pray there, but with a lot of commotion. I feel more peaceful at home. That's what I used to say. But now it has really instilled the craving for me to go to a temple and learn more about it. We have to revive our Hinduism. But one small doubt, how do you learn about the temple before you go there? That you have to tell me, sir, because when we go to a temple, how do I know about it? And how do I tell my grandparents?
Madam, one, you have another God, recent God. Neerja, madam, we have another God who's just 20 years old. His name is called Google. So this Google God gives you some information to start with. This is number one. Number two, please do not plan a time for a temple. If it is evening, if you're going at 6 o'clock, decide the going time. Don't decide the returning time until you are feeling hungry or something. Every temple where I visited, I have gone to places where I'm visiting for the only one time. But I go sit there, look for a face who will be ready to talk. And honestly, I will tell you, all these faces are just looking for one soul who would ever come and ask, what is special about this temple? And they'll go non-stop. And I have very poor memory. And now I understand it's a blessing. So I used to take a lot of photographs. And whatever I hear, I use an audio recorder all in a mobile to record and come and make a repository. And as Vyasa told, I owe the whole credit to my brother who told, like, you can speak and people will listen. And after my Kailash visit, he said he arranged in a hotel. I said, I called 10 of my friends. 2 people told, we already know that you wasted 1 month going to Kailash. You should have done business. And you are wasting another one evening talking about Kailash. We are not going to come. So I expected at least 2-3 people for my speech on Kailash. That was my first presentation. So only 2 of my friends decided to come. He arranged for a big hall. And when I started at 6 o'clock, I always keep time because I feel God is time, because time is what Mahabharata also tells. So I started at 6. I saw 3 people. Then I was scared to look at the audience. First time I spoke looking at the screen. 6:10 for something, I turned back, the hall was full. So I still remember what Shekhar told. In case if you seek and you're genuine, don't think you're doing, things will start happening. And that is where today I'm taking Smriti madam's wish. Let it get energized with all our prayers and let it reach to the generations coming. And I pray this energy gets transferred again and again, gets all momentum, and more people learn about our lost tradition. Thanks so much, Smriti madam. It resonated so well with me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And Ananta Garu, the floor is yours. We are not able to hear you properly, sir. Could you please speak louder?
Is it okay now?
Yeah, better, much better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. First of all, my heartfelt congratulations to Adi Vyshava Mahila Sabha. I think you've done a very wonderful thing of putting together the right kind of content and right kind of things to speak. For me, this is the second occasion of listening to Srini. While I know Srini right from my 2002 days as a business associate in Coimbatore, I got introduced to him. I never have seen this dimension of Srini till recent times. Very happy to listen to you, Srini. Personally, 2-3 things resonated with me very beautifully. One, but many of the other members also very rightly pointed out, youngsters, despite technology available, despite very many sources of information available, are not able to connect to the right purpose or right content and learn things. This kind of session only recalibrates the information which is available very much on the surface, just with the coil butter or with the small local resident, or with the small, the flex kept in the temple, or a small plaque which is kept in the temple, or Google Guruji, whichever way we see, all these things are repository of information, but they are not having the right kind of connect to go and fetch and learn these things. I think this kind of sessions and this kind of articulation of people like you is going to make it easy for them to consume. Why you are easy amongst many other things? What resonates with me is there are very many scholars, be it Velukuri Krishnan Swami or Ananta Padmanabhacharya or Krishna Karunagaracharya, many of them are Dushyant Sridhar. Many of them are capable of conveying in multiple languages, in multiple interpretations of Vedas and Idigasas through their Upanyasa. But those are going to be very heavy for them to right away consume and internalize these things. But your way of depiction of keeping the connotation of rituals away, telling the legend and story and the actual incidents and connecting back to the geographical presence is amazing. And what still I have to probably practice also is your time sense. Shrini, you are amazing. Brilliantly, while at some point in time I felt you are rushing, but you were able to connect whatever you wanted to say. You beautifully connected and you allowed other people to contribute to your further anecdotes. Brilliant, Srini. I'm personally thrilled to have associated with you. I'm just basking in your glory, my friend. So thanks a lot for this opportunity. On his invitation, I barged into this Mahila Sabha's activity. I'm personally thankful to the whole occasion. I wish I continue to learn more through this kind of sessions, Srini. I'll continue to listen to you more often.
Oh my God. Thank you, sir. That's a big blessing coming from all the elders. Anand sir was a person in ICSA days, I used to feel scared even to meet him. So if he's in the cabin 1, I'll be in cabin 10. When he stands up, I used to sit down so that he doesn't have a look at me. And his way of analyzing every situation, if there's a problem, then he'll ask one question and keep quiet. No, you have to answer. So it is all these people, the training indirectly who they gave. Possibly I would tell I'm one Ekalaiva of Ananta sir. And what am I today is a sum total of all these people. Thank you so much, Ananta sir, for coming over. It's a big blessing indeed.
My
Sir, wonderful. It was very, very nice. We are so very happy that we could see all his friends and coming out with such wonderful felicitations to him and being with us with Mahila Sabha all this time. So we are really happy. And Srinivasan sir has taken Sumati's idea, and all our prayers are there to take it forward, sir. All good things have to come to an end, but without the vote of thanks, it is incomplete. I kindly request our dear secretary. I would like to tell you on record, like Chandrika and Shiva Maheshwari, 2 years, like we were together for this post. For the past 2 years, we've been doing wonderful programs. For the first year, we did all physical programs, which were really done in style, lots of fundraisers and doing a lot of good to society and everything. But for the past 1 year, we've been doing phenomenal programs online as well, with the great support of Chandrika and Maheshwari, who were there along with the committee, of course. With me all along, whichever program I just tell them, they say immediately, yes, Jata, we will go for it. And even yours, when I told them, they were so into, and they said, yes, definitely we will take it forward. So we are very, very happy. Yes, Chandrika, over to you.
Yes,
Final word.
Jata, this is a crown to all your projects.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Really honored. Thank you. Just like Sailesh put it, even YJ, their past chairperson, also saying the same. So we are so very happy. Again, I think hopefully we are signing off in style. Yes. Yes, Chandrika.
Yeah. Jai Vasavi, good evening, everyone. Today's event has been organized and conducted to the satisfactory of everyone. As we are approaching the month of Adi, which has lot of religious importance, the topic about the temple has gained much importance and interest. Special thanks to our chairperson Sujata for this thoughtful idea. The magic of temple was well brought out by our guest speaker, Sri R. Srinivasan sir. The Sabha thanks him for the same excellent and detailed speech. Yes, sir. Then when we visit the temple, we'll definitely spend some time there and learn more about the things, and we leave the temple. I thank Vice Chairperson Manimala Rao for the divine rendering of the prayer song. I thank all the participants, advisory committee members, members who made the program an eventful one. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. So that was
Thank
a
you so much,
phenomenal
madam.
session. Just like as we thought, it really went well. We are so very happy. Can I cut it short from YouTube?